Yo, welcome into the BeBall Jones podcast. The goal of this podcast in my business is to bridge the gap, to fuel hoop dreams into impactful realities on the court and beyond. So thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoy it. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's B, it's your boy Nelson, overseas hooper, big man, former Peach Belt Conference, two-time defensive player of the year.
Yes, sir.
You won conference player. All right, you was a conference player.
All conference team. Yes, sir.
What are the accolades you got?
You want to go down the accolades? Two-time DPOI. One time second team all conference. One time Peach Belt all tournament team. NCAA tournament team appearance. All that good stuff, man. So that's a couple of the little accolades I got at CSU at least. If we want to go JUCO, I could throw in some more, but we ain't got to do that.
You don't keep it CSU, baby. We ain't got all day. All right, we ain't got all day. Yeah.
We ain't got all day. Yeah, man.
But yeah, today is going to be an interesting talk, man. So not too long ago, Mr. LeBron James was just going off on Twitter. We ain't really going off, but he was on Twitter just saying, why can't players get put in the Hall of Fame while they're active in their career the way coaches do? So I saw that. I'm like, that's an interesting thought. You know, Mr. James, you got a good point. I think you should give us the topic to talk about on this podcast. So, Nelson, I'm going to ask you, brother, how you feel about what LeBron said, man? Do you think they should be able to get in while they're playing, or should they just keep it how it is?
I understand where Bron coming from, because it's like Bron is one of them few players that's like clearly he's going to the Hall of Fame. It's 100% chance. And, you know, there's only a handful of those guys to where they're playing. And when they come, you know, once they get to a certain point in their career, you know, all right, this guy's a Hall of Fame. Those are only a couple of those guys. But I can't really agree with Bron on, like, players getting in while they're still playing. Because while they're playing, it's like, what? Okay, so now what's the criteria of a player being good enough to go into the Hall of Fame early? You know what I mean? Because so many guys, you know, they don't get in until after they retire, and we look at them and be like, okay, what did this guy do? Now we look at the whole resume once they're done. So like, you got a couple guys that's like, okay, yeah, they good enough to get in now, but now we have to when we get into that realm, now we looking at it like, okay, now we looking at resumes as guys are still playing, and now when we do that, we get to playing the comparison game. Because, like, let's say we take Steph Curry, for example. Steph Curry is going to the Hall of Fame. I'm pretty sure we can all agree on that. So now we say, okay, Steph is going to the Hall of Fame. Let's go ahead and induct him now. So we induct him into the Hall of Fame now. Then it's like you got a guy like, let's say, Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant's like, hold on now. If we put Steph in, let's I think I might be needing to plead my case at this point. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So now it's like, okay, now we playing the comparison game of if we put Steph in, now we got to put KD in, or shoot, maybe we got to put Klay Thompson in. Just, you know, they've been on the same team their whole career, and we putting Steph in and not Klay. I'm pretty sure a lot of people feel like Klay going to the Hall of Fame, probably Draymond too. You know, they've been on the same team this whole time. They got all the same amount of championships. You know what I mean? Klay just, you know, he got his 3-point records, all that good stuff. Draymond got Defensive Player of the Year. I'm pretty sure everybody can agree all three of them going to the Hall of Fame. So if we put Steph in, it's like, okay, are we going to put Klay in? Are we going to put Draymond in? Or are we going to make them wait because they ain't Steph Curry? Mm-hmm. So that's the only issue, because now we playing the comparison game of, all right, well, if this guy did that, we need to look at this guy. Okay, we look at that guy, well, now we got to look at this guy. So I can't get with that. It's just too much involved in trying to figure out who would get in, who wouldn't. But what do you think?
I don't think that really changed the issue, whether they're playing right now or 5 years after they retire. The conversation's still gonna be the same. So, like, go back to the Spurs when it was I don't want to blank that fast. Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, and Manu, right? The conversation when they were playing versus when they retired, I don't think it really changed any. Because you know at one point the prime is done. So everything after that is probably just back end stats, and it's just for the love of the game. Like you either helping or hurting your stats at this point. Like you might get a couple accolades along the way, so you might be 22nd in scoring by the time you're done with your prime because you still hooping and pass. Like Vince Carter, you probably 22nd all time in scoring because you played them last few years. You jump to be in the top 20, or you finally pass this threshold of having getting into like the 10,000 rebound, 2,000 assists mark. The little stuff like that you probably add on to the end of your career, but your overall averages probably dropped because prime you was averaging 26, 27. Now you averaging 18. So it hurts you a little bit when you look at it from that school. Like Jordan, prime was averaging 32, dropped down to like, I don't know, his average with the Wizards maybe like 25 maybe, which for him,
something like that.
still solid.
Lower. Yeah.
But it's still lower, you feel me? Like if he cut off them Wizard years, he probably would have still had 30 something. So, but I think LeBron has a fair point because really it's not going to change too much. I don't think when you start adding players in while they're playing, I don't think it really changes too much. You're still going to have like this, the people who, the Kobe's, the Bruns, the Curry's, the KD's, the handful of them that deserve to be in automatically when they retire. We know right now, Bruns Hall of Fame. Like there's no ifs, ands, but. So why not give it to him now? I get that. But the handful of people that are questioning why they're playing, some of them will still have the question when they retire. And it's like, oh, maybe JJ Redick could have got in with this, that, and the third, or whatever. My biggest question is, why do we have to wait 5 years? Like that doesn't make sense to me. Why we have to wait 5 years for them, or 4 years, I think it's 4 or 5 years, for them to retire and say, oh, okay, let's think about putting him in the Hall of Fame now. Like that's part I don't understand. And I actually looked it up, and they were saying how they're looking at it to make sure they actually retire. Because Jordan, you can call it a Jordan rule, where he retired for them a year and a half, came back, retired again, and came back. And in basketball, we never had a player that retired, went to the Hall of Fame, and came back. That's a long time, bro. Like 5 years and you ain't hooping. Your knee's done, bro. Like you are not coming back off of that. So
nobody taking you back for real.
unless you LeBron, that's the only way I can think somebody taking you back, bro. Like unless your name LeBron James, ain't nobody can just take you back. Like maybe Victor when he get older, depending on what the game look like, but maybe Curry because he can still shoot it. But there's only a handful of people you probably looking at it being like, yeah, come on, we got a spot for you. But I just don't understand why it has to be 5 years. Like they had that come in hockey and I think baseball. So I looked it up before we got recording. Like that's the only two sports that had somebody retire and come back and still play. But besides, I really don't understand why the 5 years has to be a thing. I think if we do change it, make it shorter. Maybe 2 years after. That's probably the longest I can see making sense. But that's why I see the conversation could change for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I can kind of see your point, but like I said, Bron an outlier. Like let's think about this. Who are the guys right now that we believe are shoo-ins for the Hall of Fame? Right now, today, they retired today. They going to the Hall of Fame. We could say Bron, Steph. We could say KD. Giannis probably in there. 2 MVPs, Defensive Player of the Year, and a ring. I would say Jokic probably in there now. 2-time MVP, Finals MVP. Maybe Embiid. No, I ain't even gonna say Embiid right now because he ain't got no records or nothing other than in Philly, and then he got an MVP now. But who'd you say?
Chris Paul.
I could probably go Russell Westbrook and James Harden maybe. I'd say James Harden and Russell Westbrook. Based off their scoring records and Russ triple-double records and stuff. That's 8 guys in the whole league that could possibly be shoo-ins for the Hall of Fame right now.
Kawhi's talked about. He could definitely be.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna get in, but yeah. I'm not gonna say he is shoo-in as of right now today because Kawhi got 2 rings and 2 Finals MVPs and a Defensive Player of the Year. Right now, that's probably enough once he's done, but he has 0 records. He don't have no kind of scoring records, no kind of longevity records because how much time he's missed. So, like, it's guys like Like I remember seeing, I forgot who it was. Like Bradley Beal got more points than him, like career points and stuff like that. Like he doesn't have any kind of like longevity records of any kind. He literally just has them 2 rings and a defensive player of the year. And that's, I ain't trying to take that away from him. That's obviously like amazing, but he's most likely going to the Hall of Fame. But like that, I'm not gonna say he deserved to go in right now today. So we just named 8 guys who are like right now today, retire tomorrow, they're going to the Hall of Fame. So now you look at it like, okay, with them 8 people, who we putting in right now? Are we putting all 8 of them in right now? Or do we wait till something happens of like, okay, Bron just did that 3-1 comeback in 2016, Hall of Fame. Let's do it. Or Steph just broke 3-point record. Tomorrow, Hall of Fame. Or at the end of the season, Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? What do we look at like, okay, now, this is the moment. This is the day he became Hall of Fame. So now I say it's too much to go into it to decide, okay, this guy gets to go in right now. Because, like, for real, you could have put Russell Westbrook in. If we was going to say, do stuff like that, Russ break the triple-doubles record, average a triple-double for a whole season. Do we say, okay, bet, give it to him? But in reality, that's one good season. Now, he averaged a triple-double after that. But when he won that MVP, he averaged a triple-double, broke the record for most triple-doubles in a season. And then he won MVP. And then they got bounced out in the first round. So do we still say, Hall of Fame, that guy? Then the next year, he averaged a triple-double, bounced out in the first round again. And then he went to Houston. No, he went to Washington. And he was hooping in Washington, averaging the triple-double. Then he went to the Rockets. And then, the triple-double stuff kind of fell off because he playing with James Harden. But the thing is, do we say, oh, well, Russ just broke triple-doubles record. He averaged triple-double first time ever since Oscar Robertson. Hall of Fame him. And then he get bounced out in the first round? We still giving it to him like automatic? That's why I say, like, what is the criteria for a guy that's still playing? And what is the moment we going to say, oh, well, now he deserves it. Let's do
it. Yeah, I do think that we do. I think the criteria will have to change, but at the same time, I don't think the biggest issue I have with it is like kind of what you were saying before. There's going to be an emotional attachment to it. So it's going to be a recency bias of this player had a great, like Isaiah Thomas, no offense to Isaiah, but Isaiah Thomas had a great season. Hall of Fame him now. It's like, whoa. Like, let's slow down, bro. Like, that was a good run that he had now. Don't get me wrong. Look, matter of fact, little Isaiah. Boston Celtics Isaiah, not Detroit. Just for clarification.
Yeah, I knew what you meant.
But I know listeners probably, just make sure everybody on the same page. So, little Isaiah come in, great season, MVP caliber year, average like 27, 28 points. Hall of Fame him now. Like, hold on, little buddy. Like, slow down there. Like, he's great season, great run, but no, not yet. Because especially looking back now, it's like, oh, that would have been a wrong choice right there for Hall of Fame. So let's kind of pull that back. That's why it's a slippery slope. Like, how far do we go? Like, at what point? So if, let's say Luka breaks out and has triple-double year. No, he's not going to have it, but let's say he does have that. Or, matter of fact, Derrick Rose, probably a perfect example.
Oh, yeah.
Great season, great build-up, youngest MVP. Let's say he played 2 more great years after that. High caliber level. Hall of Fame him, injury, goes through what he went through. He ain't looking like a Hall of Famer no more. So that's where the issue comes in at the Hall of Fame. Like, we put him in now. What's the criteria around it? Well, how soon is too soon? The emotional attachment to it. So that's why I don't like it being current. But we do know, like, out of the 8 people we listed, 3 of them, no questions asked, Hall of Fame. That's Bron, Steph, Katie. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Them boys retired right now, solidified, Hall of Fame. Give them their jackets. They done. Now, the next group is probably, yes, Hall of Fame, but it's not as clear-cut as those 3. So it's like 100% guaranteed. Next group is probably like 95% guaranteed. The only thing that's hurt them is they're not the face of the league type stuff. That's really it. The next group after that is, man, you did have a like, you did have a great career, but give us a little bit, give us a moment. We gotta Hold on, let's hold up. Right, hey guys, try to think about him.
One second.
Hey, wait, he did have a triple. We decided to let you in, brother. It's like, how far do we go with that to where it's too far? Like, what's the criteria of cutting them out? Where's the line in the sand to say you're a yes, you're a no, you're a no right now, but if you can do X, Y, and Z, you're in there. Like then it's gonna be a whole other thing between players of like how he get in, but I ain't get in. Like I'm better than him. Like it's a whole messy thing at that point.
And now that I think about it, okay, I'll throw this in. If they throw in a stipulation of 15 plus year career, if we decide you Hall of Fame after a certain season, you can go in. I can kind of go with that. Because now 15 years is a career. The average NBA player don't play 15 years. Obviously LeBron's in year 20. Steph, I want to say Steph is in like year 14 right now. Something like that. KD is in like KD got drafted 2004, 2005. So he in like, KD not that old. KD like 35. So he got to be, this might be like year 16 for KD. I know they all getting up there.
Yeah, KD, he was drafted in 06, 07.
So yeah, he been in the league 15, 16 years now. So like if you get to a 15 plus year career and we see you as a Hall of Famer, I could kind of go for that. Because somebody like Bron in year 20 doing what he's done, even if Bron wasn't hooping the way he is now, let's say Bron was on the Vince Carter track and he just good. You know, he ain't no great player no more. He ain't the star no more. He's just a good player. If Vince Carter, let's say like that, if Vince Carter had LeBron's career and ended the same way he did, we wouldn't have no problem saying, okay, throw him in the Hall of Fame right now. You know what I mean? So with a 15-year stipulation, I might could go for it because then it's like you didn't have enough time to show us. You done played 15 years. You done did this. You done did that. You got this many rings, this many MVPs, this many Defensive Player of the Years, whatever, this many All-Stars, All-NBAs. A 15 years is enough time to really know, all right, this guy probably went to the Hall of Fame. But like you said, like there's recency bias on like the Isaiah Thomases, the Russell Westbrooks, the James Hardens. You know what I mean? Shoot, the Giannis's. Giannis only been in the league. Giannis been in the league 8 years, 7 years. We can assume he's going to the Hall of Fame, but let's let him get to year 15. And then we really know. And then I can kind of go for it. And I guess Bron got special, G14 classification to speak on it because year 20, he the godfather of the NBA, so he could talk about stuff like that. But everybody ain't got that luxury to have that longevity. So the rest of y'all is like, we'll see when you finish.
Yeah, I think he has a clouded view of this because he's speaking for himself. Really, he was low key. If I'm gonna translate what that tweet really meant, guys. So LeBron James really meant is why can't I be put in the Hall of Fame right now while I'm playing? We all know, so why wait until 7 years? Because he might play another year or two trying to do his thing with Ronnie. So do I have to wait 7 years to get put in? Like we all know I'm in there. Just put me in now. Like just go ahead and do this now. I ain't mad at him, bro. Like you speaking for yourself, do your thing. There's a handful of other hoopers who follow the same track. We knew you was put in. We just gotta wait until you retire. Wait another 5 years after that. So that's why I think number one, cut off the years of being from 5 to like 2 or 3 maybe, because 5 years is a long time. And I think the 5 years is the emotional attachment to things, because we get the emotional bond of like, man, this player, man, he was great, man. But look at the stats, bro. Look at what he did. Yeah, we love him. But look what he did. What did he do? So I think that's where the 5 years come in. But do we have to wait 5 years back? Can it be 3? Can it be 2? So now think about it now, 5 years can flash faster than it was back then. Like 5 years back then is 10 years now. Easy. Probably 15. So
because back then we ain't see you ain't had no social media and that. You retire or you might have disappeared off the face of the earth until your Hall of Fame.
You like you read the newspaper or you listen to the radio, it's like, oh, Bobby McGee, I ain't thought about Bobby in 15 years, man. Oh, it's been 5. Oh man, put Bobby in the Hall of Fame. Like that's the conversation you having back then, bro. Like
right. Do you ever see them tweets or social media posts that be like, I'm realizing now that once Kawhi Leonard retires, we'll never see him again.
Bro,
Guys
low
like
key,
Kawhi Leonard that ain't on social media like that. Shoot, Nikola Jokic, we'll
well,
never see Nikola Jokic again when he retires. We'll only see that man on an Instagram post about him being at a horse race or something. That's the only time we ever go see this man once basketball is over for him. Like guys that ain't got much of a social media presence, ain't really in the media, ain't really, they ain't trying to be on TV, ain't trying to be no analyst. We'll never see them guys again.
yeah,
So yeah, like you said, back then 5 years was a long time. Cause now it's like, hey man, we'll be seeing you.
yep.
But nah, I can kind of agree with you about the length of time, and I'm only saying this because of the late great Kobe Bryant. Because I genuinely like I've never been a big Kobe fan, but just speaking purely as a person, a human, I hate we didn't get to give Kobe that Hall of Fame speech. Like it hurts me as a basketball player, somebody who really has an appreciation for basketball and the love of the game. I hate we didn't get that Kobe Hall of Fame speech. I don't know who would have inducted him or introduced him, because you get somebody to introduce you or whatever, and then you get to come.
That's a good talk we can have. Like, who would have introduced Kobe? Like,
yes, bro. I hate we don't have that, because it could have been Phil, it could have been Shaq, it could have been. I don't even know, bro. It could have been anybody. Shoot, he might would have pulled Magic Johnson to do it for him, another Laker great.
Jerry West, he probably could
have
Al, Lamar.
I don't know. And we will never know like who he would have chosen to introduce him or induct him or whatever. And I hate that. I hate we didn't get the speech. I know that speech would have been legendary. Like, he's so well spoken.
Bro, low key, he probably would not have admit this for a couple years afterwards, but he would have been competing with Jordan. He would have for sure. He probably would have either took a similar route as Jordan, but flipped it in his own way, or just went completely left and be like, I'm competing with you, but in a whole different field now. So you went more of this petty vendetta route, calling everybody out, making them look bad now. And he probably would have tried to make everybody cry or something. Like, I got to one up Jordan still. Like, that's my last
saying. I hate we ain't get that. And you know how, me and you big on giving people their flowers while they here. And I feel like Kobe is one of them people, is terrible and as sad as it was when he passed. I think his death taught a lot of people that man, give people their flowers while they're here, dog. Cause like just like I said, man, I just hate that we didn't get that speech. So, and Kobe had only been retired. Kobe had been retired 4 years, because he retired in 2016. He passed away in 2020. So we was waiting on a whole another year before we would have got the Hall of Fame speech or his Hall of Fame induction. So now it's like, man, if it was in 3 years, we would have got it. And then, if whatever happened still would have happened, we would have had that. We would have had something to look back on. Obviously, we got everything, he did, his career, his, interviews and all that great stuff. But it's something about a Hall of Fame speech, because that's one of the few opportunities he'll ever have to really talk for a couple minutes about his life, his career and stuff, unless he just choose to do so, write a book or anything like that. That's why Hall of Fame speeches be so, important. Like, that's why they carry such weight, because that is the only time an athlete will really have time, like really be able to stand in front of a podium and just speak on whatever he want to talk about in his career and his life. He can thank who he want to thank. He could tell whoever he want to tell, like, true, you could take the Jordan route, be like, yeah, I don't know who invited you, I didn't, stuff like that. This is the only time they get to say those kind of things. And I think that's amazing, bro. And I just hate that we don't get that from Kobe. I hate we don't get that.
I truly do wonder who, like, if Kobe was here. Matter of fact, put that in the comments, guys. If Kobe would have been able to be at his induction, who do you think would have introduced him or would have inducted him to be in the Hall? But like you said, I think that we kind of got robbed of that song. And I do wish that the 2 or 3 year thing was put in now. Because like you said, we are big on giving people their flowers. So I wish that's the one thing I do love about Kobe in his career. He got pretty much all the flowers before he was gone. Like I think he knew he was well loved. I think he knew the impact he had on the culture. I think he knew that because he had the whole retirement joint the last year, so he got to smell his flowers. He got to walk around, and the kids all part of his greatness. Like, oh snap, Daddy was he was pretty cool. He ain't just dad. That's Kobe. Like I think that's the beautiful
Oh,
part about all that, man. So I do wish we could have shortened the time frame to him to actually get that. That's probably the last thing you get of your career as a player to know that I did something right there. So I do wish you could have got that, man. But um, I
hey,
think honestly, if we changed the rules like LeBron's saying, he would have got it while he was playing. Like he's one of them few,
oh yeah.
outliers that been like, oh, Kobe, we got you, bro. Just
And he
we'll
played
figure
20
everything out. Don't
seasons.
worry about
So if they was to like, I know I just threw it out there,
it.
but if they was to put
I
that, what was that?
go ahead.
And I was just saying,
No, go ahead.
like I said, I just threw out the 15-year thing. I just threw that out, just thinking about it. But Kobe played 20, so if there was that kind of stipulation, like you got to play this amount of time, Kobe would have passed that point. And we already knew he was going in 5 championships, two Finals MVPs, an MVP. All the NBAs, all defensive teams. Third all-time leading scorer. Yeah, third all-time leading scorer. He was getting in. We knew that, obviously. So he would have already been in. So it just made me sad, man. There's so many things about Kobe's passing that, like, more so than just his passing. Obviously, his daughter too, and but so many things.
Hey, hold on. Time out real quick. We're gonna get back to the episode. I know you're enjoying it. I know you're enjoying the show. But I need you to help me real quick and to make sure that this episode can grow, make sure this podcast and show can grow overall, and you can keep getting great guests like this. Make sure that you subscribe and follow along. So if you watch right now on YouTube, help me out by hitting the subscribe button. Okay, go ahead and do it real quick. If you're listening in your car, chill out for a second. If you're on Apple or on Spotify, just like when you get a moment, hit the follow button, but not right now while you're driving. If you're working out or something, or you're chilling in your room, then go ahead and subscribe with me. Like, help me help you, okay? But thank you for watching. I really appreciate you. I'm gonna stop interrupting so you get back to the episode. Thank you.
We didn't get the Hall of Fame speech. We don't know who would have inducted him. We didn't get to see everything he was going to get into post career because he wrote that children's book. He was coaching his daughter's AAU team. We never got to see how good his daughter was going to be. Like a lot of stuff hurt me about that. You know what I mean? I'm like, dang, bro. It's just sadness on sadness. I know, I don't want to make the whole episode sad, but I hate it, boy.
Yeah, I'm trying to find what's the average career length. I think I might have found it of a player in the Hall of Fame. Because I think that can be like on average, players with at least one award have a median career duration of 14 years, whereas players with no awards have a career duration of 4 years. Man, that's kind of. Mm. So you think about 12, 13 years, baby.
Yeah, about 12,
So
13.
I say about 12, 13, because if you in and out in 4 years, I think that's fine to be like, oh, you didn't have a real NBA career. You had the average career. So you get an average award, which is not the Hall of Fame. So you double that. Now you've had a good career. You can say you're an NBA vet at this point. You've done things. You had a career. Like you had an actual above average NBA career. You got a name, you've played, you've done things, so on and so forth. Now to go past that, to go 10 years plus, now you're getting creeping into an impactful career. Because now you're
Yeah.
a JJ Redick where you're kind of cementing and grooving your way into the league now. Or you have a name within the game now. If you go past that, you either Iron Man like Robert Parrish and AC Green were, um, or you LeBron James and you just Iron Man. Well, you Captain America. So I think once you start tiptoeing into the 10 to 12 year in your career, you solidify yourself to be a prominent, impactful player with that type of career. Once you start creeping into the whole side of 12 plus, now you've probably really gotten to that age or point where your career is your career now. Like you've done what you're supposed to do. The only thing you might sway is like a Charles Barkley chasing for a ring at the end of his career, or
True.
people like that. But I think players now are trying to get to that point early. That's why KD jumps teams, LeBron switches teams, and all these players switching teams now because I got to get this ring before I get to that point, before I get the Charles Barkley route where I start kind of ring chasing. And Shaq was like Patrick Ewing, and you don't want to see your favorite growing up like Dame all these years in one jersey. He switched jerseys and it's like, ugh, that's a little off now. So, but
I'm trying to find. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find the list. Go ahead. I was just saying, I'm trying to find a list of like NBA players. Like, I'm trying to find it like how many years everybody played. Like, put it in order. You know what I mean? Right now, currently.
Yeah, but I think it's always going to be weird seeing certain players in certain jerseys. So we get to that point where we do start introducing or inducting players while they're playing. That can be a slippery slope because now you, like Dame. Dame's a good example. Does he have the type of career where we're like, yes, he's very arguable, but while he's playing, I don't think he's done anything to be like a guaranteed solidified yes. Like he's player for player wise, he's right there with Curry. Like if he's not, he's like slight step behind. Career for career wise, we obviously know that Dame doesn't have the accolades and everything that Steph has. So for players like that, like Clyde Drexler to Jordan, like Clyde could hoop. We know Clyde could hoop, but he ain't no Michael Jordan. He ain't no 6-time champ. He ain't no Finals MVP like that. He ain't no defensive player. He ain't got all the stuff that Jordan has. I think Jordan said to himself, player for player, he ain't that far behind me, bro. Like he's right there with me. But we all know what's gonna happen when me and him line up. I ain't gotta say nothing else. Y'all know. So stuff like that is where it starts to get a little slippery too. Because how far down, like you said before, how far down do you go? Because Kyrie might have a knock on him. Like, hey, remember that shot I had in the finals? Brown, when he had his ring, won for me. So what's up now? Like, how far down do we go? How slippery is this slope to where this player should get in because of this career and these awards and these accolades? So I don't know, man. I think we should let the obvious answers go. The outliers should automatically be outlier in this situation. But I do think we definitely need to change the length of once they retire to get in. So I still don't understand the 5-year thing. Should definitely cut down to 3 is the longest. I think I could see that. But 2 maybe, but I think 3 is the safest bet to where emotionally you're not attached. You've had time for the numbers and to settle in to be like, man, this player did this, that, and the third. And it's less emotional and it's more just factual what this player done. So I think 3 is about a good length.
Yeah, I think so too. That's a good one. 5 is just long. It's just long. But I found it. So most NBA seasons by active players. Obviously, LeBron, number 1, he's the oldest player in the NBA. This is his 21st season. Chris Paul has played 19. So if we were going, let's say if we put the cap at 15 years, these are the guys that we know for sure will probably be inducted mid-career or in like while still active. Chris Paul probably would be, he's played 19 seasons. You got Kyle Lowry, Mike Conley, Al Horford, Thaddeus Young. These guys we probably not putting in. Rudy Gay, Nicholas Batum, Eric Gordon, DeAndre Jordan, no. Robin Lopez, no. Russell Westbrook is in year 16, so we could probably throw him in there. Kevin Durant, year 16, we could throw him in there. Steph Curry, year 15. At the end of the season, we could throw him in there. And James Harden also year 15. At the end of the season, we could throw him in there. So them the only guys. Them are the only guys that are like 15 years in. We know for sure they in there. So I think 15 years is a good cap because it's like that's longevity. 15 years is longevity. That's no time for you to rack up some all-stars. That's like if you came in the league, you're 19, you play 15 years, you're 34, you're on the way out your prime. Unless your name LeBron James or Kevin Durant. You're on the way out your prime. So after 34, 35, you on the downhill slope. Just being real. So 15 years is enough time. Because if somebody have a 15-year career, that's enough, and retire, that's enough time to have a Hall of Fame career. You know what I mean? So you could win, like, I mean, I don't know nobody who played exactly 15 years off the top of my head, but that's enough time to get you 2 or 3 championships, about 10 All-Stars, about 10 All-NBAs, so, you know, whatever you got to do. 15 years, you could have your 25,000 points. You know, you're doing something. And then after that, you know, I ain't saying you got to retire at 15, but, like, that's enough time to get all that done for a great player, for a Hall of Fame-worthy player. So
I think I cut that short a little bit. I think I cut a little bit shorter. I think I'll probably do maybe 12. Go back, put this back up and see who's about year 12, year 13. Because like if you go by what you said, 19, you jump into the league, 34. But if you a Draymond Green type, where you played 3-4 years, you come in at 21, 22, it's a little different. So if you did, let's say you came in at 21, 12 years, about the same thing. Like, I don't think the 12 to 15 year mark is going to be that much of a difference for most players. Because Curry's got like, what, 13, I believe? He's like year 13.
Steph Curry, you're 15.
Oh, 15.
What is this? The ad started playing, sorry.
And let's say it's an ad for this podcast, bro. No ads allowed.
They better be paying us.
Man, what? When I think, how old is Joker? He's like 20s. I can't think of anybody that's like, who would be around year 12. I don't know, man, but I feel like around 12.
Like 7-8 years.
Yeah, he's super young. Like, well, I'm super young, but he's still like a baby compared to the guys we're talking about. Like Kyrie. Kyrie's got to be like around 12, 13.
Yeah. I can't really find exactly 12 years, so.
I'll look it up.
Klay Thompson's been in 12 years. Draymond been in 11. Dame been in 11. Giannis been in 10.
That's crazy, bro. Udonis has him just retired. That's crazy.
Just now.
Jay Tucker. CP3. It ain't getting a good list. Yeah, I think that year 12, year 13 is probably the better time frame. Because it gives you have the longevity, and you can still get your flowers at a decent point in your career. And I don't think that at this point, I don't think you're missing out on anything. Like, you probably, at this point, you're probably just putting the icing on the cake at this point, where, look, let's look at the players now. You said Curry, he's year 15. At this point in his career, what more is he going to do? At LeBron,
I think that's the point, though. You on the way out your prime. Like, you could do more. Obviously, Steph's still adding on to stuff, points, 3-pointers, all that good stuff. But I feel like in my mind, 15 years is like you're ending your prime after 15 years. 12 years, you come in at 19. 12 years later, you're 31. You still hooping. I feel like you obviously you could still do enough to be Hall of Fame worthy in 12 years. Like, let me see. Bron drafted in 2003. 12 years in, that's 2015. So that means he already won 2 rings with Miami, already been to the finals 6-7 times in a row. And now he in Cleveland just went to the finals, lost to the Warriors after Kyrie and K-Love went down. Then, he won another championship in 2016. That's year 13. So 12 years in, Bron, we could say he Hall of Fame because he already had 4 MVPs and 2 championships and been to the finals all them times. So we could say that. 12 years in, Steph Curry, Steph drafted in 2007, 2008. Steph drafted in 2008 because he played 15 seasons. So Steph drafted in 2008. 12 years in, that's 2020. So he got 2 championships. He got his MVP and stuff like that. So yeah, he probably already be in too. But I'm thinking more so about a guy like a Giannis, who took a while to develop. And then obviously after 12 years, maybe he get into year 14, 15, they might look at him more so then. But right now he probably a shoo-in for the Hall of Fame. He got a championship, he got 2 MVPs and a DPOY. But next season will be his 12th season. Is that enough to be like, yeah, let's go ahead and put him in?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, just because we say the 12th year you can get put in doesn't mean you have to throw people in. Like, no, let's give
you just saying that's the qualifying year.
Yeah, like now we can have the conversation of should we put this player in the Hall of Fame? For Giannis, it could be no. Like, maybe you can rack up a little bit more, get him more. Let's see what your scoring looking like. Let's see what the stats and stuff looking like. To where now we're starting to look at you. Versus like Steph Curry now from Steph Curry 3 years ago. Besides him getting a shooting record, nothing's really changed for him. Like, you still Steph Curry, bro. LeBron now versus LeBron 3 years ago. Besides him becoming an all-time scorer, like everything now is just adding ice on the cake. He's just adding more layers to what he already's done. Steph Curry now, KD now, KD 3 years ago. Nothing has changed but the jerseys. Like, that's all that's changed for him. So that's why I'm saying, like, from 12 to 15, for these guys we're talking about, the elites, nothing's changed for these boys, for real. You probably, now you fight, I don't want to say petty, but now you're nitpicking now. So now it's like, okay, you're solidifying your place in your career. So KD just creeped in top 10, I think, scoring. Who did he just pass for career? I think he's just into 11 now.
Something like that. I can't remember myself.
Yeah, I can't remember. I usually remember stuff like that. But he just now got to where he passed somebody either to get closer to the top 10, something like that. But at this point, we know KD's a great scorer. All he's doing now is like knocking off people to get higher in their scoring rank. He's trying to get another ring. He's trying to padding his stats to where he has a more solidified career to where it's like, okay.
He's number 10.
So he's number 10 now. So between him being number 10 now and 3 years ago, besides him being 15 to 10, nothing has changed for him. So at this point, he's trying to like fight for his rank at the table now. So now you put me in the conversation of the Charles Barkleys, bump me into the top 10 to come go. Like, Barkley in that top 20, bump me up to the top 15. Now bump me to the top 10. Now bump me to the top 5. That's what these guys are fighting for now. That next group is like, put me in the conversation with Barkley, but the higher part of it. Or we all in this room, I'm trying to get that conversation I'm trying to hit that table with Jordan. I'm trying to sit at that table with Isaiah Thomas now, or Magic. So it's like you trying to just play musical chairs at this point. You're in the room, now trying to figure out what chair you're sitting in. So from year 12 to 15, for most of these guys, that's what they're doing. But before then, now you're trying to get into the room. By the year you hit 12, okay, you in here, bro. Like, you done what you have to do. Now just rearranging the seats to see who you sitting by, how close to the stage are you versus are you up in the nosebleed type stuff. So for most of these guys, we know you in the room. Let's nitpick on where you're sitting now. So Steph Curry, yes. LeBron, yes. KD, yes. The rest of y'all, how far back are y'all in this room now? So that's why I think 12 could be that year.
Last thing I'm gonna say about it is, if they were to start doing that, you're gonna make a lot of people mad.
Oh yeah.
And it ain't gonna be the LeBrons and the KDs and the Steph Currys. It's gonna be the Carmelo Anthonys of the world.
Mm-hmm.
The Chris Pauls. They ain't got no rings. I would say guys like maybe like a Jimmy Butler when he get past year 12. And then you start looking at a guy like, hey, Jimmy, ain't got the awards and stuff, but he might feel like he's supposed to be in there. But what's really going to make people upset, not just that when they don't get in while still playing. You don't get in while you're still playing. You wait them 5 years, and they say, all right, bro, we put you in. Now what they going to say? Oh, y'all ain't want to put me in while I was playing? No, don't worry about it. Or they'll get in and they get on the stage and be like, they ain't want to put me. You don't want that neither. So now you think like, okay, do we still make guys wait? Like after, if we didn't put them in while they was playing, do we still put them in after the fact and come back around? Because, you still got guys that's like, if you ain't first ballot, you could be a second ballot, a third ballot. So that's kind of like being a second ballot Hall of Famer. So do you still really want it? You know how some guys did. Do you still really want, like, are they going to be humble and be like, oh, yeah, I'm just happy to be in, man. I'm glad y'all thought I was good enough. Or are they going to take the other route and be like, no, y'all ain't want to put me in 2023 while I was still hooping. And now y'all circle back in 2028 trying to put me in. Like, no, bro, don't even worry about it. Like, it get ugly then. You know what I mean? It get real ugly. So it's just, I don't know, man. If we going to do that, we might as well just let guys go in the next year after they retire or something like that instead of waiting. Because you had the opportunity while you was in the league, and if they don't decide not to take it, you're going to make them wait 5 years. Now they didn't have time to sit in it. Like, oh, I ain't going to be in no Hall of Fame, man. They did me dirty. And then you call it 5 years.
I don't think that changes, bro. Like, Chris Webber was mad he didn't get put in. I believe it's Chris Webber. I don't want to throw names up there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Chris was upset because he wasn't first ballot, I think.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I don't feel bad saying it. But yeah, I remember because there was a whole thing on TV where they're talking about that stuff. That's when open court was. If y'all don't remember open court, I'm not going to
the days.
Open court was one of hands down top 3, arguably number 1 basketball shows. Period. Like period. I wish they came back out with it. I don't know why they stopped it, but I wish they come back out with it. But Chris Webber was on that one talking about how you feel about not being first ballot. He didn't like it, whatever, so on and so forth. That's when we had Isaiah finally come out. He was like, yeah, I'm mad Jordan ain't put me in. They ain't put me in the dream team. They tripping. I should have been on there. That's like, bro, the truth came out in that show. That was like,
I loved it. Oh my God, that was a great show.
They gave you true behind the scenes. Like before podcast was podcasting, that was like a version of behind the scenes of players talking. Like you got the historic stuff, you got like the current take on stuff. Like, bro,
they was all legends. That's what made it so great. They was legends.
You had Shaq, you had Reggie, you had Isaiah Thomas, you had Grant Hill. Bro, you talking about the top, like the TNT crew, NBA TV guys. Like you had legends, you had role players, you had all groups of players being on that move. Like you had different perspectives. You had white guys, black guys. You had a very diverse group of guys to all talk about the game. Then of course you had the maestro, EJ, Ernie Johnson, conducting it for the most part. He was one of the main guys. So legendary show. They got to bring that back, man. I think they have to. But on that show, Chris was talking about how he was mad he wasn't first ballot. Like, man, you look at me, look at my stats, look at KG, look at Dirk, look at Timmy, where I'm at with all them. Okay, thank you. Put me in. Yeah, I ain't saying it was better, but look at the conversation, bro. I'm in that talk. Let's look at records now. Let's look at who bust who head. Let's be real now. If they are better, I'm right there behind them. Like I'm chasing their tails. I'm right there behind them, bro. It ain't no just like I ain't no little Susie Lou around the road. You finna have to put me in the talk, bro. Generational talk, power forward. Chris Webber said, put my name in the conversation, and he's right. He's in that conversation, but he's not one of them 3. It's a gap. It's them 3, and then it's conversation about him and other players. So, I think that's not gonna change. You still have people who should be first ballot. I guarantee they call Chris right now and be like, hey, you want to be in? Yes, sir. Give me my jacket. Well, what time and date do I need to be up there? Like, I don't think the player will be that petty to be like, don't put me in the Hall of Fame. Like, come on now. Like, I don't think no player has that type of pride to say, if you do, more than likely, you just being mad because they ain't put you in while you playing versus when you retired. That's going to have to be like a Jordan type player because ain't nobody just going to. More than likely, if you have that type of pride on you, you're going to be put in while you play. Right. If you don't have that type of pride on you, you can get in when you get in. Because I can't explain it right now, but that's kind of what the situation would be like. So I don't think that'll change the players' feelings to when they get put in or just active when they're retired. So I think the issue with that can be the conversations of certain players. Like if they got put in, like Giannis, if you put him in, why can't I be put in? Or all the players saying, why didn't you do this when I was playing in? Like, that's a whole slippery slope. Like, come on, bro. Let's not have that conversation.
Don't do that. Don't do that. We ain't got to do that.
You win now, right? All right, shut up complaining, man. Like, dang.
We ain't got to be like that, man. Just chill. But yeah, bro, I don't know. I don't know if it will work. I think it's gonna hurt some feelings. You're gonna step on some toes, and that's okay. In the words of my one of my, not my favorite analyst, but an analyst that I love to watch, Marcellus Wiley, football player, but love to watch Marcellus. I like to hear him talk to see what he got to say. But in the words of Marcellus Wiley, everybody can't get in. Everybody can't get in. It ain't a Hall of Fame if everybody get in, and that's just being real. So if we start making it a thing to induct somebody while they still playing, that needs to be an honor, just as big an honor as it is to get in. It need to be an exclusive club of like, all right, man, you done did enough to get in right now today, and we're gonna go ahead and do that. You done played long enough, you done did enough, you done won these championships, you done won these MVPs, you done won these, all these awards. We're gonna put you in now. That needs to be a small circle if we ever gonna do that. And Bron said it. We know Bron a Hall of Famer. We know he really talking about himself. Like, yeah, we can put you in right now, Bron. We know, but we can't do that for everybody. Everybody can't get in. And what they say, how you gonna hate from outside the club? You can't even get in. So if we gonna start doing that, please, the people on the Hall of Fame committee, make that an exclusive club. Maybe one guy every year, maybe one. Don't even be like, oh, well, if we're going to start doing it, LeBron, still KD, Hall of Fame next season. Don't even do that. Let's go ahead and get Bron in. Next year, Steph still playing, go ahead and put Steph in. And next year, KD still playing, go ahead and put Steph in. We going to do it like that from now on if we're going to do that. Don't have 4 or 5 guys that have played enough time be like, don't have 4 or 5 guys who done played enough time like, all right, go ahead and throw them in there. Like, no, bro. Make it a real thing. Make it a honor to get these guys in. And then I can kind of live with it then. But if we ain't going to make it a serious, like, hard to make it happen thing, just keep it where it's at. Maybe reduce the years to 3 instead of 5. But no, don't start just throwing guys in while they still playing unless they really on that level of like Bron, Steph, Kobe, Mike. I'm talking about all-time legends can get in while they still playing. That's it. I wouldn't even say, matter of fact, don't throw Russ in there. Don't throw James Harden in there. Don't throw Chris Paul in there. Make guys like that wait. But the LeBron, like the all-time greats, we can throw them in. If we're going to start doing that, I ain't saying we need to, but if we're going to start doing that, they got to be all-time greats before they could go in while playing. If not, you got to wait that time like everybody else. And you could be mad. You might still be first ballot. But if we're going to start doing that, I want it to be serious, like the best of the best. It's a special club of people who go in. And that's all I ask, if they ever think about doing that.
I definitely agree with that. I think that's part of my issue with it, because the slippery slope thing, man. Like, some players will feel away, some players won't. But I think part of me says we have to not care, because when they retire, same thing's going to happen. All we're doing is moving up the time frame when this thing's going to happen. So Klay Thompson, not while you're playing. No. 3-5 years later, we'll talk about it. So I don't see why that has to be such a big deal or whatever. But I do agree that we have to make it very exclusive. Like Jordan, 98, 99, whatever, we're going to retire you. Like, we know you're done. Go put your jacket on. You're good. Pip, we'll see you in 5 years, brother. Like,
you'll hear from us.
What's your name again? We'll call you. Well, my people call your people type stuff. But Jordan, go. Shaq, go. Kobe, go. Bron. Basically, if you're a top 10 player, we're talking about you in the top 10.
The best of the best.
Go. We say, man, he's probably he won them one. Curry, go. KD, go. The rest of y'all boys, we'll see you in 3 to 5 years. So like, if we went by what you said and said every year we have a player, it's gonna be them 3. We probably don't have to wait for that 4th year. Like, I don't see anybody right now being solidified, like guaranteed, put that boy in. Unless we're gonna start looking at the women's side, then you can start looking at the Anna Taurasi's and Sue Bird before she was gone, and like stuff like that. The W probably be tougher. Like Candace Parker should have been in. Like, if we're gonna go by that stuff, so I think that does think that'd be great for the W. I think that'd be amazing for the W. If they could able to do that right now, like that'd be a good look for them. But
Put more attention on them too. And then
yeah,
they got more goats of like, all right, we know.
yeah,
It ain't as many. I think they got. I mean, for them to have half the teams the NBA have, they got just as many people of like, we know they're going to the Hall of Fame right now. So I think that would be cool for them too. But yeah, man, I want that to be an exclusive club if they ever think about doing it. Don't just be putting anybody in, please, please, please,
yeah.
please.
Yeah, that's my biggest concern. Like the Hall of Fame right now is already kind of giving that little watered down feel. It had a lot of sugar in the beginning. Then it started putting a little more water and putting more water and it's like, all right, bro, like no knock to anybody, but knock to somebody. Cause everybody
Somebody gotta get knocked.
But like you said,
everybody can't get in. Man.
Everybody can't get in. It's VIP for a reason. It's exclusive for a reason. So
All right, okay, another timeout. Okay, look, if you got to this point, you have to be enjoying the episode. Like you have to. At this point in the episode, you're enjoying it. So help me help you. Just if you're on Apple right now and you're on your phone, okay, just take your phone, press the subscribe button. It's right there. Just do that with me. Even if on your laptop, take your mouse, boom, click over, boom, do your thing. Now you subscribe. Now you linked in because you don't want to miss the next great episode that I have. But doing stuff like this helps the episode grow, makes the show grow, and the podcast grow so I can keep getting great guests and keep doing great interviews. So if you listen on Apple or Spotify, take a second, look at your phone, press the follow button, okay? And share with a friend or two because you'll find a value in this. You want to have this conversation with your friends so they can have the same value. Now the whole basketball community can grow. All right? Thank you for listening so far. I'm going to get out your way. Let's get back to the episode. Appreciate you.
How you feel about the inductees they got coming in right now, or the not inductees, but not the eligible inductees that they looking at? Did you seen that, right?
looking real slim, brother.
Looking real slim. Cancel it. Just don't happen.
I ain't going that far.
I'm just playing. But for those who don't know, on the NBA player side, for the most notable names, we looking at Vince Carter, Jamal Crawford, and Sean Marion on the NBA player side. The women's side got some. Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, Chauncey Billups. Chauncey Billups also, and the women's side got some good players on their side too. But just focusing on the NBA right now, I don't like it.
That's another conversation for another day, man. But it's not as potent. It's nobody that's just like yes, ooh yes. Even the coaches have like nobody's just like glad to see you win, brother. Like yes, like that. Basketball community is like this. Yes, Vince Carter is the no shade to Vince. The fact that Vince is the biggest name says something.
Says something.
It's tough. Like I'm not trying to say Vince shouldn't be in. He should. But if he's the biggest name, it's like if Tony Parker was the biggest name for the last one. Like it's D-Wade, Pop, Powell. All right, we up here. Tony, you're a step below. So if Tony was the biggest name of the inductee, we're like, ooh, that ain't looking
slim pickings.
NBA half struggling, brother. NBA half is like, oof. He's not to say Tony should be in. He should, but hey, that's the biggest name. More power to you, my brother. Right.
Who you sliding in out of them four? Out of Chauncey, Vince, Jamal, and Sean Marion. Who we sliding in? If it's you, this is your vote.
That's tough, bro. That's really tough. Because I'm stuck between Vince and Chauncey. That's
you
tough,
can have more than one. If you want to put more than one in, you can.
But that's the thing. Like I want to say one just to make it more argumentative or conversationalism. It's not the right word, but it's close enough. Give me Chauncey, man. It's tough, but give me Chauncey. Ring, MVP.
The ring is carrying.
Yeah. Like I respect events too, man. Like career wise, I think so Vince had the better career, but Chauncey had the higher peak. That's what the conversation really goes to. Who had the higher peak and who had the longest career? Vince hands down had a better career. He came in UNC dude. We knew he could dunk. Most athletic hooper of his era, hands down. The dunk contest, historic dunks in game, dunk contest, all that stuff. Longevity, the transformation of his career, respect to all of that. But Chauncey had the higher high. He got the ring. Finals MVP. Mr. Big Shot. Like, he had some moments. So, it's
Yeah,
tough. It's tough. So, I might go Chauncey.
man. Chauncey, we taking Chauncey. I'm trying to pull up they resumes because I know I got it somewhere. Give me a second.
I think Chauncey probably has worse numbers than Vince because Vince was the guy for a minute. So he got them 40-point games, 50-point games, and he was able to just go off and do his thing. But Chauncey was never really put in a position like B to go get it. He was a point guard too, so his career average probably like 13 points because he wasn't getting buckets like that. Not to say he couldn't, but he just wasn't because of the time he was in and the teammates he had. So he was like focused on getting Sheed the ball. Like I think Sheed might have been the highest scoring player. Either Sheed or Rip might have been the highest scoring players for the Pistons.
Man, I don't like it, bro. I can't lie. I don't know. If it's me, I'm taking Vince. And I'm barely taking Vince, honestly. And because I'm one of the people that feel like the Hall gotta be it gotta mean something. And I ain't saying it don't mean nothing now, but it's starting to mean less and less. Cause now we get to the point where we just putting really good players in. I think only great players need to go in. And I hate, you can't not sound mean talking about stuff like this. But I only want great players in there, not really good players.
Mm-hmm.
We're not doing it like it's not the Hall of really good. It's the Hall of Fame. Who are the best players? Who are the most like? All right, this guy changed the game, and I feel like we don't look at it that way no more. Like people who changed the game, and that's bad, man. So here we go. I got this stuff pulled up. Chauncey Billups, 2004 champion and Finals MVP. 5-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA, 2-time All-Defense, and his numbers retired with the Pistons. Vince, 2000 gold medal in the Olympics, 1999 Rookie of the Year, 8-time All-Star. Excuse me.
Listen.
Thank you. 8-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA, 2000 dunk champion, 9th all-time three-pointers made. First all-time seasons played the most seasons ever, 22. Sean Marion, 2011 NBA champion, 4-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA, number 31 retired by the Suns. Now, with that being said, I'm taking Vince and nobody else.
Yeah.
Nobody else.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
Vince... like I said, I'm barely taking Vince. Vince don't have no rings. That hurts him, obviously. But Vince is a part of basketball culture. And this is what I mean. Like I said, the people in the Hall of Fame have to have changed the game in some way. Vince is widely considered the best dunker ever in basketball. The best dunker of the basketball. In game, out of game, whatever you want to say. He's one of the best dunkers ever. And a lot of people consider him the best. That 2000s dunk contest is legendary. And we play it every year, every All-Star weekend. You're going to see it this All-Star weekend. You're going to see the Vince, all that good stuff. You see it every year. Vince set the standard for what a lot of the guys do now, dunk contest-wise. And so his dunks are just legendary. That's part of being, the culture. That people remember those things. Then he got a gold medal. He got more All-Stars than anybody on the list. He got 2 All-NBAs. Chauncey got 1 more than him. I don't know, what teams those were. It doesn't specify first, second, or third. And then he actually has a record top 10 3-pointers made and most seasons played by one player, for a player. Records mean something. And I feel like, if we would only take one and slide Chauncey in over him because of the ring and the Finals MVP, I feel like that wouldn't be fair to Vince because nobody's going like, I hate saying it, but you got to be mean in these situations. Nobody's going to remember Chauncey Billups like that. Nobody's bringing Chauncey Billups up. I can't remember. I can't tell when the last time you watched the NBA and a Chauncey Billups highlight came up in a commercial, in anything. When the last time you could be watching a Pistons game or a Nuggets game. I don't think they showing no Chauncey Billups highlight unless they say this is the last time the Pistons won a championship or something like that. Then you're gonna see him pop up. But guys, like, no, he's not moving the needle for me. He didn't change the game. Vince is a guy that we gonna remember always. He's a legend in his own right of dunking, and playing as long as he did. He has records with his name. I'm taking Vince. Sean Marion, I don't even want to talk about it. I remember Sean the chest shot. We all remember the shot that Sean Marion had with the two hands. I remember. Sean, love you. You might never see this, but God, you ever see it, I love you. All due respect to you. You was a great player. I played with you on 2K many a days. I'm not taking him for the Hall, though. We're not putting really good role players in the Hall of Fame. I know drop the phone. I know it said he had 4 All-Stars, so he still is a good player. But you know who else had that many All-Stars? The doggone. First off, Al Horford been to the All-Star game about that many times. Remember them Atlanta Hawks teams with Jeff Teague and Kyle Korver and them? That's what I really think about. If we looking at these All-Stars, like, okay, 4-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA, and he was on a good team, won championship. If we just gonna give it to any good player that on a championship team, we gonna let anybody in. Chauncey Billups won a championship. At least he was Finals MVP. If they put Chauncey Billups in, I ain't gonna be mad. If they put Sean Marion in, I can't go for it. You just putting good players on championship teams in? Because if we doing that, now we talking about, okay, let me give you, so Serge Ibaka going into the Hall of Fame, if we doing that. I ain't trying to compare Sean Marion to Serge Ibaka in their careers right now, but I'm just saying, we just putting good players. He was a great player they ain't win championship, but they went to the finals. We putting, let me think. We gonna put, I'm trying to think of the last couple champions. Is Kyle Lowry going to the Hall of Fame because they won a ring in Toronto? You know what I mean? Are we putting, I'm gonna give you one more. It's hard to even think like a good role player on a championship team. We just gonna throw him in the Hall of Fame. Is we putting Drew Holiday in there? Drew Holiday for the Bucks championship. We throwing him in there. He was a great player. We needed Drew. Great role player. I would say our third best player. Are we putting him in the Hall though? I'm not going for that, dog. Like, I'm not. We not putting good players on championship teams in the Hall of Fame. That negates what it's all about. Like, we are only taking the best of the best, and Sean Marion is not that. I would say that Chauncey Billups is not that. But he had a good team that year. They was the best defense. Obviously, Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, them guys, Tayshaun Prince, good team. And he was their leader. And they won the championship. He Finals MVP. So if we throw him in there, I can kind of go for that because he was you could say he was their best player. Vince Carter ain't win no ring, but he's a legend in the right of dunking. And we'll never forget the things that he did. That his longevity. He top 10 3-pointers made. He got some records. We can't point to none Sean Marion did to where like, hey man, he's a legend.
The only pushback I have on Vince is that I agree with you on everything. But the only pushback I would have on Vince is that his biggest impact is the dunk contest, right? Yep. So do we throw Sean Kemp in? Because he was known for his dunking too. Like, do we throw Zach LaVine in? And I'm not trying to say Zach. Oh, I'm not gonna throw Zach in there. He's not on that same caliber. If you want, okay, let's say Sean Kemp. He's a decent enough example. Sean Kemp was known for his dunking, finals appearance with the Sonics, and he was known for that level of impact. Do we go the same route with 3-pointers? Because now you start going Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson had a level of revolutionizing the game with 3-pointer because you can't mention Steph without mentioning Klay. It's impossible. You can't mention. There's a reason why it's called Splash Brothers. It's not just Splash Bro. Like it's two other guys. So you have to mention Klay. So do now you throw Klay in there because he had a play in revolutionizing 3-pointers? Do we mention JJ because he had a hand in that too? Like a whole generation. Like we are brainwashed right now of like Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Dame, Trey, and you mentioned JJ in there. We don't mention Kyle Korver as much. For whatever reason, JJ has a bigger impact on us than Kyle Korver. And Kyle Korver could have better stats than this man.
But so you think you taking Chauncey? Is that the only one you taking?
Now I flip it. So I'll take Vince over Chauncey. Honestly, man, I don't think it's that big of a switch, bro. Like it's really, if it's like one is Vince, 1A is Chauncey, and B is Sean in this list. Like none of them really is just like guaranteed yes. But like I was saying with Vince, how far did we go with the 3-pointers? How far did we go with defense? How far did we go with other stuff? Because like how far do we go with them having that big of an impact? Because Klay could be a level of Vince Carter to 3-pointers. I think that's a valid conversation. Like JJ Redick is 3-pointers to an extent what Vince Carter is. Now, granted, he had 3-point contests and everything, but the impact of the dunk, you could have that with Klay. You could have that with JJ. So how far do we go with that? Now, career-wise, you can put Klay with Vince. On differences, he got the rings. He wasn't number one guy compared to Vince being number one guy for a couple of years, but overall, like Vince had higher highs, but Klay's right there with the longevity of who they were as a player and the impact they had. So I don't know how far we go with that to where he's in and he's not for that reason.
Yeah, I can agree. Like I said, if they put Vince in and not Chauncey, I ain't gonna be mad. They put Chauncey in and not Vince, I ain't gonna be mad. They put both of them in, I ain't gonna be mad. You put Shawn Marion in that Hall of Fame, I might boycott. And it ain't gonna hurt y'all at all, but it'll make me feel better. It'll make me feel better, personally. Because I can't deal with that, bro. Shawn Marion in the same Hall of Fame as Michael Jordan. And I know like everybody can't be Michael Jordan. I ain't saying everybody that go to the Hall of Fame gotta be Michael Jordan. But there needs to be a standard. There needs to be a level. And if you put Shawn Marion in there, he gonna be the base level. So now you're gonna have guys talking about how you gonna put Shawn Marion in there and not me. Is that the conversation we want to have 5 years from now? You know what I mean? Because like God forbid, let's say, I'm trying to think of somebody who got a ring. Danny Green. Danny Green get to the end and it's like, come on, bro. I'm saying. Brooke Lopez gets to the end.
Stop it. What that Jordan mean? What's that Jordan mean? Stop it.
Stop.
Get some help.
Get some help. I'm telling you, bro, like it's gonna be that time. I think the Hall don't think about that too. Like, if you gonna put a guy in, I get this kind of a down year of like, you know, big name legends coming out or like, you know, eligible for induction. Just don't put them in because I don't think they think about the future of, okay, if we put Shawn Marion in now, how many Shawn Marion level players are we going to have to think about in the future? Because you, like I said, you need a standard. You need a baseline of like you can't be no worse than this to think about getting in. Chris Webber, really good player. We were talking about him. But what can we point to for Chris Webber and be like, he was legendary in this right? You know what I mean? And now he got all these all-stars, you know, a great player. I think the Kings retired his number. And he got all NBAs, all that good stuff. So I ain't trying to say he wasn't a great player. But I feel like Chris Webber, one of them people at the baseline of like, okay, you can't be no worse than Chris Webber. You throw Shawn Marion in there, he gonna be the new baseline of like, okay, 1 championship, 4-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA. A lot of guys got that. Just being real. A lot of guys got that. Like, and all of them don't need to be in the Hall of Fame. And I'm just being real. And I hate that it's got to be that way. I hate to make it sound that way. One day, Jamal Murray going to retire. And, the Nuggets might win more championships. I ain't saying they won't. I ain't going to get into all that. But I don't see Jamal Murray getting no MVPs no time soon. None of that. I see him getting some All-NBAs. And I see him getting the nod for some All-Star appearances. Obviously. Are we going to put in Jamal Murray with one championship playing next to Nikola Jokic? Sean Marion got one championship playing next to Jason Kidd, Dirk Nowitzki, Tyson Chandler. And he was the starting 3. Jason Terry. Are we putting Jason Terry in there? Like, bro, playing next to 2 other Hall of Famers. Are we going to put him in there and say, oh, now they got 3 Hall of Famers on that team? I just can't, man. I just can't. I'm going to get off my soapbox, man, because I mean, one day I want to go into the CSU Hall of Fame. And if somebody came up to me and was like, man, you ain't doing nothing to go into the Hall of Fame, you know what I'm going to say? Hey, man, I respect that opinion. Maybe I didn't. We didn't win no championship. You know what I mean? And that's like the highest thing. I was here 3 years. We didn't win no championship. I got 1 all-conference team in my 3 years. I got 2 DPOYs, though. And I was the first one to do that here. And I'm only the second person to ever do that in conference history. But if that ain't enough to get in, then that's okay. But God forbid I find out somebody in there and did less than me. You know what I mean? So that's the situation you don't want to be in. If Sean Marion in there, people going to point at Sean Marion like, I need to also be in there. And I'm just telling y'all what's going to happen. Y'all ain't got to listen to me, bro. But 10 years, y'all going to be calling Drew Holiday or Drew Holiday going to be calling you like, hey, man, Sean Marion in there. I got a ring. I got a couple All-Stars. I got a couple All-Defense. And y'all got Sean Marion in there. I want my jacket. So it's in y'all hands. If y'all want to deal with that, that's on you. But me personally, I wouldn't let that slide. So that's all I got to say, though.
LeBron, see what you've done.
Do you see what you did, Bron? You see what you did. Now we talking about Sean Marion. Oh my goodness, though. No.
But oh man, people. If you watching on YouTube right now, drop in the comments what you think. First off, let's go back to the OG conversation. Is LeBron right? Should LeBron be put in right now? That's LeBron. Remember, I transcribed what LeBron was saying. He said, I should be put in right now. That's LeBron. So let's zoom out a little bit. Should we let players overall be put in the Hall of Fame? And if we do, what's the criteria around it? What's the cutoff? Do we do 12 years, 15 years, 10 years, 20 years? 20 years is tough because ain't nobody getting in, but, whatever. How
Vince Carter.
Hey, that's it, bro. Hey, y'all boys, salute. Kobe, you did your thing. You in there. Well, Kobe would have been there. But, like what is the level of play for a player to be in while they're playing? And then how y'all feel about this upcoming possible class? Y'all feel like 2024 is rocking. Like y'all, hey man, y'all slick, man. Put Matrix in that jump, bro. He was with the Suns. He was revolutionizing the game with the 7 seconds or less with him and Nash and Amari. Y'all forgot about that. Now,
are we putting Amari Stoudemire in the Hall of Fame? Oh my God, bro. I can't. Are we putting Tyson Chandler in there? Are we bro? I'm sorry, bro. When you said that, now I'm thinking about all the good players that might really get in because of Sean Marion. Sean Marion is going to be a gateway drug to good players getting into the Hall of Fame. Oh my God, man. I'm sorry, bro. But finish what you saying, man. I'm just
somebody get this man some help.
Oh, bro. We not doing. Put me on the committee, bro. At this point, because somebody got to be the bad guy. Somebody got to be the bad guy, and I'm willing to take that. I'm willing to take that. And y'all can put my name on it. Hey, Nelson Haskin was the final vote. Sean Marion could not get in. I'll take that Twitter beef. I'm okay. Like, bro, no. Oh my God. Now whenever I watch basketball, I'm gonna be like, they gonna put Aaron Gordon in the Hall of Fame, bro.
Gotta relax, bro.
I promise you, that's how I'm gonna look at it from now on. Like, bro, if they do that, bro, Pascal Siakam going to the Hall of Fame. Bro. Watch. Watch. Pascal Siakam, that's a good name I should have threw out. Because he was on that championship team. Pascal Siakam going to the Hall of Fame. God dog it, boy.
Y'all comment, let us know what's going on, man, what y'all think. So if you're on YouTube and you should subscribe right now, y'all go ahead and let us know what y'all think. Comment below. If you're on Apple, follow along. If you're on Spotify, follow along. If you want to follow this man on social media and clown him or whatever, y'all want to praise and big him up. He's on Instagram, X, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, all that good stuff. If you want to follow me, just follow the podcast. Follow me on YouTube, BeBall Jones Podcast, BeBall Jones Podcast, and just BeBall Jones, so like the other YouTube channel, you feel me? So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. See you next week.